So in the beginner's method, after you've solved the white cross or whatever color cross you're doing, to finish off the first layer, you would take a corner piece like this and then insert in a slot like this, just like this. And then you'd be done with that part, and then you do all of them. But in F2l, which is more advanced, what you do is you'd first find the corner piece and then you find the edge piece, and then you'd match them up like this and then insert them so you have one corner edge pair. And you do this for the whole thing, so instead of solving one layer, you do 2 layers, and it ends up being a lot faster. In F2l, there are 3 different scenarios you'll run into when trying to pair corners and edges to make the corner edge pair and insert it. But before you can run into these 3 scenarios, you first have to make sure that both the pieces are on the top layer and disconnected from one another. A scenario you'll encounter often is when the corner is not in the top layer where you want it to be. So to bring this corner up into the top layer, you're going to first bring this up, which is known as R. You're going to use U to bring it out, and then you're going to use R prime to restore the cross. So now you have this in the top layer. You can also run into the edge being in the second layer instead of the top layer. So you just repeat those same moves I showed you. For this edge, we're going to do R, U to bring it out, R prime to restore the cross. And now you have both the edge and the corner in the top layer. After both the corner and the edge have been put in the top layer, a scenario you may encounter is where the corner and the edge are connected to each other. And to do F2l and run into those 3 scenarios I talked about earlier, you need to disconnect the pieces. So in this scenario, it doesn't matter how the pieces are oriented, but to disconnect them, you're going to first make sure that the back slot is not solved, because when you bring this up, you can end up messing up the back slot. So make sure the back slot's not solved. And then what you're going to do is you're first going to do R prime to bring the corner out of the way. Then you're going to do U to move the edge and disconnect it. And then R prime. And now you can see that both the corner and the edge are now disconnected. After both the corner and the edge are on the top layer and disconnected, there are 3 different scenarios you can run into. So in the first scenario, you have the white sticker facing to either your right, left, front, or back, just not upwards. And you also have the edge, and the corner and the edge's top stickers are opposite, so meaning that they're not the same. So here it's blue and here it's orange, since the corner is blue and orange and the edge is blue and orange. So to connect these up, you're going to first want to place the edge opposite of the non-white sticker. You don't want the edge right here opposite of the white sticker, because that creates a problem and you can't insert it properly. You're going to want to first make sure that this back slot is empty, and then you're going to move it if you don't have it opposite as it should be. After it's placed correctly, you're going to place the corner above its correct slot, and then you're going to pair up the corner and the edge. You're going to bring it around so that it inserts into the edge, and then you bring it down. And that's the first scenario done. So the second scenario has the white sticker still facing to one of the sides, just not upwards. And here, both the edge and the corner's top stickers are the same color, unlike the first scenario where they were different colors. And what you're going to do here is first place the corner opposite to an empty back slot, meaning the non-white sticker is going to be opposite to an empty back slot, so like this, to make sure you don't disrupt any slots that you've already made. And this is very important if you don't want to keep redoing slots, especially after you've done 3 out of 4. So what you're going to do now is you're going to hide this corner by bringing it down. You're going to move the edge so that it's right beside the corner, as in right beside the non-white sticker, and then you're going to bring the corner back up so that they pair up. And then to insert it, you just bring the side up and insert it just like the beginner's method. The third and final scenario has the corners white sticker facing up and the edge disconnected, obviously, as you should have done earlier. And to pair these up, these two, and right now is what we're doing. First, you're going to want to locate the edge and then match up the front color. So you don't want to match it up like this where the top color is the same, but you want to match it up where the side color is the same as the center color, like this. And then what you're going to do after that is you're going to hide the edge the opposite way we're supposed to go. So it's supposed to go like this, but you don't want to do it like that because that's not how you pair it up. You're going to want to first hide it the opposite way. So in this case, you're going to hide it to green. And then you're going to want to put this corner above where the edge is. So the edge is right here and the corner is right here. So you're going to move the corner all the way so it's above the edge. So see how it's paired up now? And I'm going to restore this and bring this edge pair up. After that, you're just going to insert as normal. So there are many different scenarios you might run into while doing F2l, but the main thing you want to focus on is first bringing up both the corner and the edge to the top layer, and then you want to split them up if they are connected. And then after that, you want to use one of the three scenarios. You want to memorize those three scenarios about how to solve them. And then you will use one of those three scenarios that you've memorized and solve or connect and insert the pair. So here's some unique things that you may run into that I just wanted to show. So here's one thing you run into where corner's inserted correctly, but the edge is not. It's twisted the wrong way. So what you're just going to do here is you're going to remove the pair. You're going to split it up like that. And then you're just going to use one of three scenarios. In this case, it's scenario 1. And insert it. Or connect and insert it. Another scenario you may run into is where the corner is inserted, but the edge is not. And in this case, you're just going to use the beginner's method way of inserting edges. But here's the algorithm in case you don't know it, but you should. First, you connect up the edge to its corresponding center like this. Not like this, where it's inverted, but like this. You're going to move the edge to the opposite direction of the corner, or where you're trying to insert it. You're going to bring the corner up, bring the edge back, bring this side down, or whichever side the corner is on, to connect it up, and then you're just going to insert it. You may also find that the edge is already inserted, but the corners are in the top layer. And here you would also just bring the edge up as instructed, and then just use one of three scenarios to insert it. You want to make sure that when you're inserting or using one of three scenarios, you have, at least for now, you're inserting to the front slot and not into the back. As you get more advanced, you'll learn how to, but for now, just make sure that you're using scenarios and inserting to the front slot.